Hey, g'day guys, it's Adam from VideoShowMeHow, and today we are working on the D-MAX. It feels like it's been a minute since we've said that, and specifically the inside of the D-MAX. We're going to be working through how to install dual wireless charging for a pair of phones. It's going to be in the center console area. Some of you may have seen some of this already, but without further ado, let's get started. Now, if you own one of the 21 plus BT50 or D-MAX, you will know that the cup holders that live in the middle are deeper than the center of the earth. You'll know what I'm talking about. These things are enormous, so that when you have your can of drink or your takeaway coffee, it kind of disappears into the abyss, and it can make it a bit of a pain in the butt to get to. Similarly, unless you're having those monster coffees, it's the same story. These things disappear, the lid rips off, coffee everywhere. It's a mess. So a while ago, I came up with these. These are the cup holder spacers, and I know a ton of you guys have already pulled the trigger on a set of these, so thank you very much for your support. How these work is they drop straight in there a little bit like that. These were a 3D scanned model, so you can see they fit absolutely perfectly in there. And that allows you, with your can of drink or your coffee, to plonk it on there, and then you have a bit more of a normal little center console, so it makes life a whole lot easier. Now, you can get these from VideoShowMeHow.com. There are these guys, as well as a whole range of other bits and pieces. We've got center console trays that look a little bit like that, just to get your most commonly used knickknacks at the top. We've got switch panels that are designed to slot straight in here if you're running out of switches. I'm about to do a bit of a rejig here as well, but they slot straight in there, and a very similar texture to factory as well, and a whole range of other things. What we're here today to talk about, though, is the new latest and greatest, and that is along the lines of these three here. So we get these ready to go. The issue I was having is where to put the phones. The phone for me and the phone for Mrs. Video Show Me How. We needed somewhere to put our gear. This section here was always a bit of a pain in the butt to fit phones in there. With the bigger phones, they don't quite fit, as you guys well know. You can put them sideways, but then if you got two, it's a bit of a pain, so it's just a bit of a bugger to get there, especially when you're in gear. So the first part was like, I was like, okay, well, can I design something that maybe replaces what's already there for those and holds my phone? And that's where 3D scanning later and a bit of CAD modeling, I came up with this guy. And what this is another perfect slot, and it gives you a little place there that you can plonk your phones in, and they keep them in there nice and secure. It's super easy to take them in and out, and away you go. And it still allows you then to run a cup holder spacer. Was running that for a few weeks and then went, charging, hang on a little second, what can we design there? So I thought, well, let's see what we can do as far as including wireless. So then we got to one of these, and that's what we're going to be using today. So that slots in there similarly. You have the option on the website that you can get the puck as well. We've designed it so that our generic little wireless charging pucks, which are these are a 55mm wireless charger and key charge, which is compatible with all wireless charging phones. This is what they look like. Up underneath, I've just got one installed in there. You can kind of see, hopefully, there's some little slots and what have you that's all designed in there from the print. By flipping around, there's the wireless puck installed on that side. On this side, there's our cutout. And the thing with it as well is there is a gap. So instead of it just being that 55mm in the middle there, the fact that you've got some adjustability there means that when you're gluing this guy into place, in the puck in the actual adapter, you can kind of customize the height. For reference though, Pixel 9 Pro XL, an old Samsung over here, and a Pixel 8 all work with the very top configuration. So step one to install is going to be getting your pucks into position so that they are in the right location for your phone. Now, I've just been using some standard Tarzan's grip, just some all-purpose super glue there. Some epoxy would work fine as well. This is PETG plastic, so any plastic-based glue is going to work perfectly okay. Grab your puck, which look a little bit like this guy here. I do have an option there on the website that will include these, or you can buy your own off Amazon, as long as they're the 55 to 57 odd mil wireless charging pucks. But that's what they look like. So all you want to be doing is slathering the back with your glue, and then you just want to slot him into place, slot him all the way to the top. I'd give that about 20 minutes, half an hour, so that it is lock solid overnight if you can. But that's our first step, is getting your positions, your Q charging into position. So for me, I need to get ahead, glue the second one into place, and then we can move on to installing it as step 2. So to get this guy installed, you could actually just leave it like that, and you could just get a double plug like we've got at the front here, like I've been using the last couple of months, and that works fine. I'm looking for a complete no cable install though, and that's what we're going to do next. So what we need to do, you've got your pucks all installed, you've got your spacer ready to go, is we need to get our wiring down underneath our cup holder. And the second part is we're going to need some USB ports, some 12 volt to our USB output. What we're going to be doing is installing underneath here some cable that will run across from our existing fuse panel here. We'll use an adder fuse like you've seen in previous videos. We'll run that all the way across under our center console, out underneath here where we have our UHF anyway and power, and we'll get that installed on the inside wall so it's nice and secure. A bit of power, plug in some USBs, install this guy, no cables. So our next step is we need to remove our cup holders themselves. To do this, 2 hands is easier. I'll see if I can do it with one. You want to get a firm grip on the sides and just pull up sharply. A little bit like that. That's what that will look like. And then on the inside, it looks a little bit like this. Now, what we're going to be doing is getting this guy. There's a bunch of different versions of these. This is off Amazon. It's a couple of bucks and it does the job because it's nice and flat. Now, to get our cables through, our next step, we're going to need to drill some holes straight through the bottom here so we can drop our cables through. If we have a look at our demo unit here, you can see there's some little cutouts on the sides. If you line those up, that's where we need to drill our holes. We need to be able to pass our cables through. Now it doesn't need to be too big, because if you get the ones that I've used, it's literally just the USB-C that needs to pass through. So it's only a smaller hole, and 8mm is going to do the job. We'll get that through so that these can pass down and through, and then we can connect our USB adapter on the other side. This part is pretty sort of straightforward. We just need to run some wire from here through here, up underneath, and to our fuse panel. If you've installed a UHF in here, it's exactly the same thing as that video that we've done in the past. Pull out your dual USB. All this is going to have is a positive and negative, positive being our red, negative being our black. Top tip here, this is super easy to uplift. If you haven't done that before or seen it in other videos, all you need to do is get a little trim removal tool. If you've got something little like this, that will do the job as well. It's literally just levering that up, just like that. Once you've got it up enough, just gently sort of pull that up. It is in 2 sections, just enough so you've got room to move down underneath. When you are routing your cables, as always, make sure you steer clear of your gear selector here, particularly if it's a manual, but you've got tons of room in the sides here to run your cables all the way around to our fuse box. Right, so we have run our cable, we've snuck this all the way underneath, and probably punch that back into position there now because we've got it coming all the way underneath and all nice and tucked around till it pops back out here for us. So now we need to use one of our adder fuses. That's what these guys are. You've seen us use these before on the channel. And what these do, this is the Micro 2. So I'll link these as well in this video's description down below and where you can get these, but you can get these at any auto store as well. And how these work, you can see, if you've been watching the videos on the D-MAX playlist, you can see we've already got a few of them in here. But basically what they work, or how they work, is they attach to an existing output, an existing energized circuit. That fuse for that circuit then pops in here, so that circuit's still protected, but it piggybacks off that circuit to run some extra cabling. So it's a really nice and simple way to use the existing headroom that's already in some of the circuits. Have a look at like some of these audio ones. That says accessory, so it shouldn't work there. Ignition on. There we go, we now have that circuit energized. So that's probably going to be the one we want to go with. Let's just check that. We'll turn it off. One more press and one to turn off. So dash lights are all off. Let's check that again. No light. So that's the guy that we're going to use. We've already got a 5 ampere already installed here. So I'm going to install that there, and then we can get ahead and connect up our wires. We then need to turn our attention to the center console area because we're well and truly on the home stretch. We want to find our wiring that we ran just that little bit earlier. You want to grab your USB converter, and then it's just a matter of connecting these guys to those guys. And then from there, we can find a home down in here. We are going to have to be careful of our clearance here because this guy does take up a bit of room and it sits around like that. So probably up under here, or even there's a massive big void under this section here that we'll be able to use. So just have a bit of a play around with that. You can tape it to the wall, up underneath, something like that, or even if it's loose, it's not going to be the end of the world, as long as we can access it to run our USB plugs through our cup holders. Right, so I have it all installed. Don't know if you're going to be able to see, maybe if I turn it on, you can see a little bit of light. It's hard to get my camera in there, but you can kind of see on this back wall here, oh, that's annoying. Let's turn that beeping off. You can see there's our little blue light hiding away under there. There's a nice flat section just here. So that pushes up there really, really nicely and gives us plenty of clearance for putting this guy back into place. So from here, we are absolutely on the home stretch. You're seconds away. We just need to get your new insert that you've pre-installed. There's both of our wireless charging pucks. So all we need to do now is feed through our holes. We can put our new insert into place. Then we can just plug our new charging pucks into our USB power and we can lock that guy into place. And here we go. We are all in, all nice and installed. Let's give this a go. If we watch the screen, let's turn the car on. And there we go. We are charging. That's awesome. So you can see I'm so stoked with this. These work so well. I'm really happy with these because it's just so simple. You just plug it in there, boom, there we go. We're charging. Same story on the other side. I'll just kill a bit of this aircon so you can hear what I'm saying. But that is it for this one. So check out VideoShowMeHow.com for any of these, of course, for this particular unit, but also the standard factory style cup holder spacers, the trays that go in the center console like you've seen. We've even got the combo units like these if you just want that sort of solution, the switch panels, all of the above, even the monster holder, but not wireless. Maybe you don't want wireless, but you want the holder and you want an all-in-one or separate. Those options are available over at the website as well. Well, that is it for this one. Hopefully you found that helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out the build video playlist there's 100 plus videos of everything we have done to the D-MAX over the last little while. So check that out if you can. But other than that, guys, as always, I hope that you have an amazing day and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.